Hi, my name is Diane Blacklane. I am the Director of the Department of the Environment, which is within the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. And I'm also the Ambassador for Climate Change for Antigua and Barbuda. Today, we're presenting to you the work of the Department of the Environment through a video report. The Department of the Environment is part of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. Our Minister is Sir Malwin Joseph, and our Permanent Secretary is Ms. Ina Henry. In 2020, it's been a challenging year, but we saw this year Minister Joseph and our Permanent Secretary Henry dealing with severe challenges such as the COVID-19 in their capacity in their role as Minister of Health and Permanent Secretary for Health. Notwithstanding their busy schedule, we've been able to accomplish a lot in this year, so much so that our Minister was knighted in 2020. We have quite a few outputs for 2020, despite all its challenges. And some of the output includes providing a really good, robust, science-based methodology for decision-making in our government system, in our private sector and in our community-based system. And so a lot of people don't understand this, and it's not seen like big and powerful outputs, but many of our team are scientists and they've worked hard to produce good scientific information that is not only recognized internationally, but our knowledge management expert will tell you how we're converting that science information into something that every single Antiguan could use. In 2020, we accomplished a lot, not only in science, but we've implemented the impact and the lessons of that scientific study. At the end of 2020, with the help of other agencies, the Department of the Environment have installed solar panels in schools, in clinics, created studies that would help us with our land use planning. We have been able to go further with our wind turbine installations and many more. There are several areas that we are working on this year that is new. One of the areas that we're working on is a just transition of our workforce. Change is coming to Antigua and Barbuda and to the world. And recent international events have just highlighted that even more. And what we're doing here at the Department of the Environment, we're working with Abyss School and many of the educational institutions to assist them in providing the knowledge that they need to facilitate this change. One of the areas that we're working on here is our apprenticeship program, which we bring young people who are at various stages of their educational level from Antigua and Barbuda, as well as young people from the rest of the region, to join us here in Antigua and Barbuda to actually see what we're doing and learn from the ground up. So we're hoping that we're not only going to get ready for the changes that are coming internationally, but we're able to know what we're doing and be able to make the change carefully and wisely, and maybe even have a little fun. So next, my team is going to be talking to you more about what we're doing. They are smart, they're brilliant, they're lovely, and I enjoy working with them. So I hope you take the time to listen to what they have to say. Thank you.
Hello, I am Atto Jamal Lewis, Senior Environment Officer here at the Department of Environment and the head of the Biodiversity Ecosystem Protected Area Management Unit. This unit is responsible for guiding the environmental impact assessment process, assisting with environmental management issues and biodiversity management issues. Particularly, one of the things that we very much focus on is assisting the Development Control Authority in ensuring that major projects that take place here in Antigua and Barbuda meet the best environmental standard that we can apply based on science and knowledge from the community. One of our major achievements this year is that we were able to complete an environmental impact assessment for the Green Barbuda project. This is the new power station that will be installed on Barbuda in the Highland area. It's been organized by the Energy Unit with support from international donors, and this will use renewable energy as well as storage, battery storage, and regular generation in terms of hybrid capacity, so that we ensure that the Barbuda people will always have electricity going forward. And hopefully it will be as much renewable as possible so that they'll always be ready when they have another storm, another major event. Another major achievement of 2020 is that we participated in a regional training for coastal engineering. that was organized by Smith & Warner, a coastal engineering firm out of Jamaica. And we're very satisfied with that, as it helped to raise our awareness of the various aspects of coastal zone management, the things that can be done to improve and safeguard the coast, and the benefit of having functioning coastal ecosystems to support not only protection from strong waves and other climate change impacts, but also in terms of promoting the development of the country overall. For 2021, the BPAM unit hopes that we will continue our implementation of the Environment and Protected Area Management Act, particularly through the creation and establishment of the Wetlands and Watersheds Committee that will be responsible for ensuring that all our wetlands and watersheds, watercourses, those things are properly managed, so we don't see the amounts of flooding and wastewater that we see affecting so many people in our society.
My name is Aaliyah Tewitt, and I'm the project coordinator of the CBIT project. That is the capacity building for improved transparency on climate actions through an environment registry in Antigua and Barbuda. It is a 3-year project funded by the GEF. Our 3 main achievements for 2020 were hiring a data consultant to support project activities, who's now a part of the data management unit here at the DOE, enlisting 3 DMU members into sector-specific courses in order to build capacity in reporting for GHG inventories. And lastly, in order to meet international standards, we have contracted the Technical University of Denmark to support project activities such as developing a QA/QC plan and guidelines for data collection and sharing. Our goals for 2021 include developing our environment registry platform, finalizing our MRV framework and NDC implementation plan, which was started under the NDC CAP project, as well as finalizing our QA/QC plan and guidelines for data collection.
Joseph Prosper, Project Coordinator of the Invasive Alien Species, Antigua and Barbuda. The name of the project is Preventing Costs of Invasive Alien Species in Barbados and the OECS region. For 2020, for Antigua and Barbuda, the preparation and conclusion of a critical situation analysis has been completed. A national invasive alien species strategy and action plan has been completed and is waiting for the next step. The legal consultant has submitted her work, which basically dealt with the gaps in the legislation in Antigua and Barbuda relating to invasive alien species. And we are currently working with the Department of Environment Communication team on an ISA booklet, and some public service announcement, PSAs, on invasive alien species for the general public, but concentrating on primary and secondary schools. The target IS species are the giant African snail, the mongoose, the black and brown rat, the Cuban tree frog, the southern cattail. We're taking a look at citrus greening and little yellowing as some of the targeted species that we're working on regarding the whole invasive alien species over the last couple months. Going into 2021, we are into 2021, and I'm just hoping that I can get a database at the ports of entries for invasive alien species. That's my main goal for 2021. That apart from other things that we're working on, that a database for Antigua and Barbuda at its port of entries for invasive alien species can be accomplished.
The Sustainable Low Emissions Island Mobility Project is a scale-up of the Italian electric school bus project. It's done in partnership with UNEP and is being financed by the GEF. The project is currently in its last phase of review and is expected to begin implementation in May 2021. The project seeks to procure 2 electric taxis, 2 electric buses, install 2 solar-powered charging stations, as well as develop the enabling framework to encourage the uptake of electric vehicles within Antigua and Barbuda, in addition to providing affordable concessional financing for taxi drivers to purchase up to or more than 10 electric vehicles. The IRENA ADFG Phase 2 project is the second phase of the transformation of the water and health sector with renewable energy project. It is scheduled to begin implementation in 2021, and this project is being funded by the IRENA ADFG project facility. This project seeks to implement renewable energy and energy efficiency measures at critical public infrastructure within Antigua and Barbuda, such as, but not limited to, the Port Authority, the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus, as well as the V.C. Bird International Airport. Further, this project seeks to reduce reliance on fossil fuel imports, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and build on the resilience of critical public infrastructure. For 2020, this project was in project preparation phase, which would have consisted of data collection, stakeholder consultations, and the preparation of procurement documents. This project is expected to begin implementation in 2021.
My name is Aisha Constable, Project Coordinator for the National Adaptation Plan NAP project. The NAP seeks to enhance adaptive capacity and resilience to climate change in Antigua and Barbuda. Our major accomplishments for 2020 were in the areas of risk mapping and baseline data collection and stakeholder engagement. Under stakeholder engagement, we advanced work towards developing an access to justice platform, which will guarantee access to information, participation in environmental decision-making, and access to justice for all Antiguans and Barbudans. Under Component 1, large volumes of spatial and risk-mapped data were collected by external consultants. The mapping exercises were done across Antigua and Barbuda and focused on identifying areas that were at risk for different climate impacts, particularly as it relates to temperature changes, sea level rise, rainfall, and droughts. Another major accomplishment for 2020 was the development of guidelines for adaptation planning in the public and private sectors. Our primary plan for 2021 is to advance the work under the stakeholder consultations to operationalize the Access to Justice platform, as well as to develop the sectoral adaptation plans for the 6 public and private sectors and 3 local areas.
My name is Jason Williams. I'm the data manager here at the Department of Environment and the project coordinator for the monitoring and assessment of multilateral environmental agreements, implementations, and environmental trends project. This is a project that is funded by the Global Environment Facility. It's funded through the Cross-Cutting Capacity Development Focal Area. So for short, we refer to this project as the CCCD project. It's being funded in the amount of $880,000 US. It's implementing for 4 years from 2018 until 2022. The main objective of this project is to help build capacity for local stakeholders to better manage data and information, to better report to the multilateral environmental agreements, specifically the 3 Rio Conventions. That's the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, and United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. In 2020, the 3 main successes that we had was issuing a contract with consultants to develop an environmental information platform that is known as the National Environmental Information System, or NISS for short. We also issued a contract with consultants to develop a State of the Environment report. So the most recent environmental profile that was done for Antigua and Barbuda was in 1991. So we're seeking to update that report and to issue a brand new State of the Environment report. We also had some successes in 2020 as it relates to communications. So we launched a conservation series. So this is a 4-part series that deals with different environmental issues. So we spoke about one of the episodes was on climate change, one of the episodes was on biodiversity, one was on land degradation and drought, and the fourth was on data management. We also released a teacher resource guide on mangrove trees, and we also published a few articles, about 3 or 4 articles during the year. For 2021, we aim to launch the National Environmental Information System. So that's an online platform where persons can go to access data on environmental resources in Antigua and Barbuda. We also aim to publish the State of the Environment report and to complete the series of the teacher resource guides. So we're developing one on climate change, we're also developing one on biodiversity, and we're going to develop a 4th one with topic yet to be determined. We also aim to publish more articles and to more outreach on environmental issues relating to the project.
The Fourth Master Communication Project is also known as the 4NC Project, and it is currently is funded by the Global Environment Facility and being implemented in partnership with UNEP, which is the United Nations Environment Program. This is a 39-month project which is currently in its implementation phase, and the project started in March 2020. It will be completed in May 2023, and the main objectives of the project is to produce a national communication. It will be Antigua and Barbuda's 4th national communication under its obligation to the United Nations Framework Convention for Climate Change. And during 2020, the project team did a number of assessments, a number of baseline data collections in order to help produce several reports and assessments, such as the IRENA Renewable Energy Roadmap, the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Report by Climate Analytics, a number of gender and GHG assessments, as well as subchapters for the report, including national circumstances and information on climate change mitigation. For 2021, the 4NC project team hopes to continue the work that we've already been doing. We hope to focus on vulnerability and adaptation, which is a chapter that we will start drafting, as well as updating and finalizing our national circumstances and climate change mitigation chapters. We will also be hosting a number of stakeholder consultations to better provide information for the final report. So we're really looking forward to that. The Grid Interactive Solar PV Systems for Schools and Clinics project, also known as the GISS project, was started in 2017 and ended in 2020. This project was funded by the government of Italy, and this provided the Department of Environment with $825,000 US. The aim of the project was to ensure that schools in Antigua and Barbuda would be able to operate even when the electrical grid was down. By the end of 2020, a total number of 18 schools, both public and private, were provided with up to $50,000, and that's US dollars, in order for them to install solar PV systems in their school. They were also provided with technical assistance to complete site environmental management reports, as well as educational campaigns. And as we move into 2021, the project team will be scaling up this project that was just ended through funding by the Adaptation Fund. So we will be submitting a proposal by summer 2021 to ensure that more schools on the island will be provided with solar PV systems and will be able to operate during any type of storm or hurricane, as well as building their resilience further.
Good day, my name is Brian Payne and I'm a project coordinator at the Department of Environment. For 2020, I was a coordinator for the electric school bus pilot, which was a project done in collaboration with the Italian government, of which we were able to receive a grant of $625,000 to support the procurement of 2 electric school buses into Antigua and Barbuda. We have procured these 2 buses, and so far they have been integrated into our national school bus system, where they are serving the school children of Antigua and Barbuda and are currently contributing to our reduced emissions. and the bigger, brighter future we have ahead when it comes to renewable energy and reducing emissions in Antigua and Barbuda. So far, it's been a very monumental goal for Antigua overall, as this will help to mark our transition towards electric vehicles in Antigua, reducing our carbon footprints and helping to fight climate change and global warming. Additionally, we have built 2 charging stations at the Sylvia Vinicius Cricket Stadium, of which will be powered by 100% renewable energy to help with our goal towards clean energy and reduce fossil fuel use in Antigua and Barbuda.
My name is Roshana Adams-Matthew. I am the Environmental Social Safeguard Officer at the Department of Environment, and I'm also the project coordinator for a project called Integration Water Ecosystems Management in Caribbean 6 countries. So my major achievements for 2020 were mostly related to my work as an Environmental, Social and Gender Officer. We did a lot of data collection for our department's climate change program. The reason being, we want to ensure that all of our projects are gender friendly and gender inclusive, and that we actually have a positive impact on all groups in Antigua. So we would have interviewed over thousands of persons in Antigua and Barbuda, and now we have a really solid database to do our gender assessments for our climate change projects. Most of these projects are in 3 main areas: energy transition, resilience in buildings and in infrastructure, and just transition of the workforce. So that was a very big deal for me, and the first thing that I got to do at the department on my own. Looking forward in 2021, it relates to that aspect. Now is when we are putting all of that, the information we gathered, into our climate change program. And once that is successful, then hopefully we should have some more proof projects. So that is my main plan for 2021. It relates to the iWeCo project. We couldn't do a lot in 2020, but in 2021 it certainly is progressing. We started off with a bang with the reforestation activities in January this year in the communities, which was positively received. And now we're going more so on the ground, going for the remainder of 2021. So I'm pretty excited about the iWeCo project. And I'm really excited to see how our data can transform lives in Antigua and Barbuda.
My name is Johnny Simon. I'm the nursery manager of the department. Here I would just want to explain some of our goals and achievements for 2020. And we can start from our major goal is propagate 20,000 plants for this Arbor Day, for this tree planting Arbor Day / Arbor Month campaign. With the help of 15 schools, we'll be able to accomplish our goal. In the nursery, we propagate almost 8,000 plants, and that is a big success for us because of COVID. So it can be a bit of a challenge, but we'll be able to propagate over 8,000 plants. Also, we propagate them in our new and innovative biodegradable plant bags that will help with faster growth, eliminate all these plastic bags. The schools in them really come up big for us. They roughly about 5,000 plants. It might sound a lot, but it's not really our target amount. Our target amount was 15,000, but 5,000 we're more than happy with the accomplishment from the schools. We're moving on to our plant nursery. We just recently built our new innovative tree nursery that will enable us to propagate over 50,000 plants per year. We're able to propagate more than 1 different type of fruit trees plus shade trees. So that was a big goal for us. The other thing I can also talk about our new tech when it comes to help to maintain the park. We have a new brand of equipments from a drive mower, electrical drive mower, battery operated, and weed whackers and hedge cutters. So that will help us to get away from fossil fuel, able to do more work and able to work in sufficient time and help us to get the park looking all beautiful and nice. So even though 2020 was a big challenge, we were able to accomplish a lot of our goals and achievements this year.
I am Craig Cole. I'm a technical officer within the project management unit of the Department of Environment. My role is to deal with the grant process. And we assist our clients in moving from the stage of call for proposals right through to receiving the grant, which is the fund that assists that client in getting his or her project right through to the very end. We're very happy to work with you, people of Antigua and Barbuda, because we recognize that we play an integral role in assisting our country in going through the issues which it faces from time to time. For 2021, we look forward to work with different communities to ensure that the people within those communities build resilience in facing these issues which we mentioned before. So people in Cashew Hill and the surrounding areas, look forward, we're coming. To the students and teachers within the education system, look forward for us because we're coming. To the people who are in the Sherkley Management area, Sherkley Mountains area, look forward to us because we're coming. We're going to make sure that this process is as smooth and as easy for you as possible. And we hope that you enjoy the process with us because we love working with you. Thank you very much.
The CEF-CDB project will be providing solar PV systems and battery backup to approximately 10 facilities, clinics and schools to provide about 160 kilowatt of power and 155 kilowatt of continuous backup from 31 power walls. To date, we have imported 550 panels, and it is anticipated that by February of 2021, we would have imported the remaining of the 31 power walls. The project is expected to be completed by the second quarter of 2021, where all facilities would have been installed. The SCCF and Adaptation Fund projects made significant strides in 2020. With the finalization of the revolving fund regulations in mid-2020, these projects commenced the disbursement of the revolving fund 2% low-interest loans for resilience in their homes. The SCCF supports the first responders. The AF will support the residents of the McKinnon sub-watershed. To date, 64% of first disbursement have already been given to first responders, which account to about 33 persons. And 2% of the full portfolio of the Adaptation Fund has already been disbursed. It is anticipated that by March of 2021, we would have disbursed 72% of the full fund for the SCCF project. We have already put out our second call for application for the McKinnon sub-watershed for residents and small businesses to apply for the revolving fund to build resilience to their homes. With respect to ecosystem resilience in the McKinnon sub-watershed to climate change, rainfall events and vector disease, these projects, which is the SCCF and AF project, has commenced the upgrade of the wood spun. The Adaptation Fund and the SCCF projects also support improved ownership of adaptation to climate risk. In this regard, 5 community buildings in the McKinnon sub-watershed have received small grants to develop their full proposal to be upgraded as community shelters. In this regard also, we have received 3 full proposals which will be presented for approval. With respect to the Cades Bay watershed, the Erlings Cricket Club has been given their first disbursement to build resilience to their community buildings for community shelter under the SCCF project. The local area planning process continued in 2021 with the development of the St. Mary Parish Lab as well as the McKinnon Sub-Watershed Lab. We had our first consultation with the community-based groups in the St. Mary's watershed, and we are anticipating that we will have our stakeholder group meetings in 2021 to finalize the St. Mary Lab by the end of first quarter of 2021. We have also commenced the development of the McKinnon's Sub-Watershed Lab, and we are hoping that we will have our first consultation in March of 2021 and have that process completed by June of 2021. Building code and drainage code are very critical to the output of the projects. And the OECS 2015 building code has already been updated as Antigua and Barbuda's new building code and will be supporting the outputs of the project, for instance, the SURF Fund revolving loan and the local area planning process. Also, these projects will be doing the drainage code, which will be the first drainage code for Antigua and Barbuda. We have already received 2 international bids which are now being evaluated, and it is anticipated by the third quarter of 2021, we would have a drainage code for Antigua and Barbuda.
Hi, I'm Kamaria Holder, the project coordinator of the Green Climate Fund Finance Integrated Physical Adaptation and Community Resilience through an enhanced direct access pilot in 3 Eastern Caribbean small island developing states, or the EDA project. The EDA project is being implemented in Antigua and Barbuda, the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Grenada, and it seeks to build capacity in regional entities for climate adaptation planning, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation. Despite the challenges of the global COVID-19 pandemic, in 2020, the EDA activities moved steadily along. Staff and consultants were onboarded in the 3 project islands and the OECS Commission and are now eagerly advancing activities. Here in Antigua and Barbuda, the Ministry of Works was awarded the contract to implement flood management interventions in the Cashew Hill subwatershed. This includes the paving of the water course and improvement of pond infrastructure. And the year ended on a good note when in December 2020, the call for applications for the EDA revolving loan program was launched. Now residents and business owners are allowed to apply for concessional loans of up to 200,000 EC dollars at a rate of 2% per annum to climate-proof their homes and businesses. In 2021, the EDA will complete the awarding of adaptation grants to fund the improvements of communal buildings that will be used as shelters during hurricanes. These improvements can include the installation of solar PV systems, additional water storage, and to improve drainage around the properties.
Hi, my name is Ezra Christopher. I serve as coordinator of the revision process for Antigua and Barbuda's Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDCs. 2020 was a great year for the NDC Enhancement Program. With the support of the NDC Partnership, the United Nations Development Program, and many other implementing partner organizations, we received critical support to develop Antigua and Barbuda's national plans to cut greenhouse gas emissions and to scale up renewable energy. In collaboration with a wide cross-section of stakeholders from the public sector, civil society, and the private sector, key climate targets and strategies were proposed to reduce emissions and help Antigua and Barbuda to adapt to the adverse effects of climate change. The technical expertise and capacity building support offered by our partner agencies helped to produce a national GHG reduction report to assess national progress in reducing greenhouse gas emissions and meeting current NDC targets. Our local officers work with the partner agency to develop a renewable energy roadmap that presents pathways for the scale-up of renewables in both the power and transport sectors. We also contributed to the development of a framework to track how Antigua and Barbuda can adapt to the adverse effects of climate change, mitigate the cause, and respond to the loss and damage associated with its impact. Another key achievement in 2020 was the conduct of a nationwide household survey to inform the development of a social inclusion and investment program. This program will offer affordable and accessible renewable energy options to the population, including vulnerable groups. For 2021, under the NDC Enhancement Program, we are seeking to develop certified training opportunities for persons of all ages, sex, and education to allow them to transition to new technologies, standards, and practices in an appropriate and just manner. We hope to see the development of domestic and small-scale commercial investment in renewable energy. This could help meet increasing demand for energy and reduce the time and expense of disaster recovery for the government, for households and businesses, thus improving national resilience. By March 2021, we are seeking to submit more ambitious climate targets to the United Nations and share key lessons learned during the process to update our climate plans.
Hi, my name is Shalissa Phillip and I'm the head of the accounts unit as well as the compliance officer for the Department of Environment. My team consists of 3 junior accounting officers and 2 project assistants. With me today are 2 of my junior accounting officers, Ms. Deja Valeri and Mr. Unaya Archibald. My team and I are responsible for completing all project transactions as well as completing all monthly and quarterly financial reports. We also work closely with the external and internal auditors, ensuring that all audits are completed on time on an annual basis.
Without the accounts unit, the Department of Environment would not be able to function. We provide the technical staff with confidence to ensure that all their expenses are recorded properly and they won't overspend on any project.
I work on the GCF projects. GCF is our biggest donor, and I work along with the project team to ensure that all project activities are done accurately and on time.
When the PCs and the technical staff are on the field or on site at the Interpretation Center or McKennon's Water Pond or somewhere with their wind turbines or their solar panels, we're behind the scenes ensuring that all disbursements are received by providing accurate reports and audits to our donors.
Hi, my name is Vikash Khan and I'm a Project Technical Officer Apprentice at the Department of the Environment. Currently, one of the projects that we're working on in the Department of the Environment is the just transition of the workforce, where we hope to incorporate ABIS with the Antigua and Barbuda Institute of Continuing Education. Part of this incorporation would be the procurement of green climate technologies, which include solar air conditioners, home biodigester systems, phase change materials, and rooftop wind turbines. Once procured and arrived in Antigua and Barbuda, we hope to incorporate ABIS in terms of the research to the applicability of these technologies in Antigua and Barbuda. Further to this, we'll try to revise their curriculum to see as to how future generations could benefit from the learning of these technologies and the applicability also in Antigua and Barbuda. We hope that this is the first of many years because we plan on signing a memorandum of agreement going forward between the Department of the Environment and also ABIS. So once this is signed, future generations will be able to research and develop and also understand the applicability of green climate technologies in Antigua and Barbuda.
Hi, my name is Chantal Victor Cole and I'm the Senior Project Officer for the Knowledge Management Unit at the DOE. And this is Nikita Black, my apprentice. At the DOE, we collect a lot of scientific data. My job is to ensure that these data are all in one place for easy dissemination. In eventuality, this data is going to be given to the public sector, the private sector, and schools.
Hi, my name is Nikita, and as Chantal has said before, I am assisting her with the knowledge and information management. My job is primarily to observe and also to assist her in the best way possible, just to ensure that we have all of our projects and reports down pat so that all of the teams and even the public and private sector have access to what we're doing at the Department of Environment.
My name is Elita Rose. I work with the Operations Department and the Surf Fund within the Department of Environment. Today I have with me my 2 team members, Sasha and Kayana. Could you kindly introduce yourselves?
Well, my name is Kayana Nicholas. I'm a part of the 2020 apprenticeship program. I have just recently graduated from the University of the West Indies. I am now working primarily with the Surf Fund, but I also assist in other financial activities here at the DOE.
Hi, my name is Sasha Ambrose. I'm also an apprentice here at the DOE. I am working along with Elisa and Kayana at the Surf Fund. However, I'm also in school studying financial management at the University of West Indies Open Campus.
The Surf Fund stands for Sustainable Highland Resource Framework Fund. This fund receives monies from projects such as the AF and SCCF. In 2020, we were able to process our first batch of applicants. This SCCF applicants were first responders, and the adaptation fund applicants were from the McKennans, Yorks area. So these applicants were processed in 2020, and in late 2020, early 2021, they were able to receive their first batch of disbursement. In 2021, we hope that we can continue this program looking at areas such as Cashewill and to receive more applicants from McKennans and Yorks, because the applicants from within the McKennans area, we did not receive a lot of applicants. So we are hoping that in 2021 we'll be able to receive more applicants within this, from within this area. So, so far with the SCCF applicants were very responsive, in the sense that 74% of the applications were processed, and those applicants were able to receive their first disbursement in December 2020, January 2021.